And it is time to join up with Grace Potter, joining us here on The Point. Welcome to The Point yet again.
Thank you. It's so good. We were just singing the Windjammer jingle to ourselves.
And I was relating to you how a ticket winner yesterday had won some tickets, and when I said you're in the running for a Windjammer gift certificate,
Windjammer.
Absolutely, that was it. So Grace is here, and thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So you went from midnight to daylight as far as albums.
Yeah.
And does that signify a change over the years? Or?
Oh, undoubtedly. This process of making a record, falling in love with my producer, and really kind of changing my entire life started then. So I think they really are kind of bookends in some ways, although in the midst of that, I mean, it was a 4-year window in between, so there was a lot of life that happened. And so Daylight is certainly a little bit of a reflection of how to find your way through the dark and make it out the other side.
and the lead-off song, Love is Love.
Yes.
Talking about all sorts of things.
Yeah. Well, it's a very confessional album, but not in that like Taylor Swift way where I'm just dating people so that I can write breakup songs.
That wasn't your intent, right?
I really hope this is the end of all that. I'm ready to just like sing lullabies.
Right. Well, you can sing lullabies to all of us.
Rock and roll
weekend.
lullabies.
You're going to be doing that with the Flying V guitar.
Yeah.
Tell me why you chose the Flying V.
It's actually very functional for me. It's got to do with weight distribution, because a guitar that's rounded slips out of my hands. I need something that's I like handling. Yeah, it's sort of like if you've ever used a chainsaw, for example. It's all about the weight of the motor and the way it balances, from one side to the other. I like the way the V feels like you're wielding something. It's not something that could accidentally slip out of your hand.
Okay, well, now we know.
Yeah.
Now we know it's exactly, because it's functional and it sounds really good.
And it looks cool, too.
And it does look very good.
Yes.
And this weekend you're going to be doing music.
Yes.
Not only on your own with your band, but you're going to join up with Warren Haynes over the weekend.
That's
and possibly sit in with some other good folks.
It's what a festival should be.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things about when I started Grand Point North. It was this dream of creating a community where you're welcome to, and you should expect that everybody's going to show up on stage with everybody else, and that you get to spend time with the people that you don't get to see all the time, because many of my musician friends are out on tour, and we don't get to bump into each other very much. So I just force them to all come together.
And you've also been working with Warren Haynes on the duo. I saw a bit of that at the festival, about a month ago?
Yeah, Peach Fest. Warren and I have been rehearsing. Well, we've played so much music together over the years. Warren Haynes has just been such an inspiration to me, and creatively a wonderful dad as well, which was also inspiring to see when I was out on the road, to see that he could bring his kid out. And so there's a lot of music over the years that we've played together, so we kind of cherry picked through and thought, well, what would be really cool for just the two of us to do? And so we did some rehearsals, and it turns out it's really difficult to rehearse on FaceTime.
Why is that?
Because FaceTime mutes out one side. So the reason you can hear anything in FaceTime is because it shuts the sound off for the other person so that you can hear what they're saying.
Right.
So when we're singing live with each other trying to harmonize, we keep slowing down so we can hear what the other one is trying to sing.
I have an image of listening to you Sunday evening with Warren and having that
the delay effect.
The delay effect going on. So.
Oh, it's a pretty wonderful thing, though, to be able to just get up with your friends and make music, and that's the theme of the year. This is Grand Point North's 9th annual, and the theme this year is Friends Old and New. So.
Okay. And you've also, as you do each and every year, included music and musicians right here in the Green Mountain State.
Always. I had so much fun last night at the Radio Bean. We went and just was checking out some local music, and I realized that that's how Grand Point North started. I was the local band, and if people hadn't been listening to me or wandering by and saying, "Who's that? I'm going to go check that out," it wouldn't have been possible for me to have this festival. So this is my way of saying thank you, and also just recognizing the amazing talent that Vermont has to offer.
Absolutely, and you're a part of that talent as well, as we all
I'm
recognize,
trying.
right?
I'm trying.
I mean, though you're in Southern California now, you do come home. I was driving back yesterday, and I looked, and I saw
Yep.
these two big buses heading on Interstate
Yep.
89, and I go, I think that's great. And the entourage heading home.
It's cool to have this home. I mean, we're bi-coastal is what
Right.
we're saying now, because I will never not be from Vermont. And now that I'm a mom, my kid has got to be a Vermonter, or at least think he's a Vermonter,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A weekend warrior.
Come to the mountains.
That's
you know,
right.
of
That's
Vermont. So a little bit more about the album. You and your producer husband
Mm-hmm.
put that together. You worked with Benmont Tench of the Heartbreakers and some of your own band members, Benny
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yurko as well, and
Yep.
Lucius. Tell
And
us a little bit
Lucius.
about how Lucius fits into all of this.
Well, I as I was writing the horn arrangements and the string arrangements, there's not a lot of overdubbing on the record, but where I wanted to put fairy dust, I wanted it to be a very important statement. I call it fairy dust whenever you add something in, because most of the record is just done live, totally live in the room, and me singing my vocals. So everything you hear on this album is live, with the exception of strings, horns, and Lucius, because they have such a power and such an audacity to the way that they sing. I felt that having that energy and that presence that not only holds its own but elevates the entire musical experience is the best way to invite that collaborative sound. And so when they came in, I told them, I'm like, you're either going to do this with me, or I'm just not going to have any backing vocals at all. And so let me know now if you're not into it. And they were like, oh, we're into it. So they're on about half the record.
Excellent. And they'll also be doing their own set
Yes.
on Sunday.
So excited
Yeah,
to see
it's
them.
gonna be great.
It's
So
an
Lucius-
incredible live show.
It is.
Yeah, they're wild.
Well, they've honed it over the years as well, going out on the road with Roger Waters and his
Yes.
tour and everything else. So.
Yeah.
So a big weekend. Warren Haynes, lots of friends. Trombone Shorty's going to be here as
Yep.
well, and
Government Mule as
Government
well.
Mule as well as Warren Haynes, the whole band.
That's
So-
right. Lucy Dacus. There's so many amazing artists that I've been really wanting to see live.
Right.
I haven't had a chance to yet, and that's another selfish reason why I get to have a festival.
Right, and everybody gets to celebrate and get in on it, and really get to realize exactly how much talent there is on the Burlington waterfront for this weekend. So
Exactly.
tickets are still available for single day or for the entire weekend. highergroundmusic.com. You can check that out, and it's going to be just a fun weekend. And Grace, I can't thank you enough for joining us here
I'm
on the
so
Point this
happy.
morning. And have a great weekend. Have a great time with your family.
Thank
and
you.
we'll see you out there on the waterfront.
Looking forward to it. Thanks
Okay.
for having me.
Grace Potter joining us. This is from Daylight. This is Love is Love on the Point.
I don't care about pride.